एजुकेशन सोसाइटी डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी कोल्हापुर। हाँ जी, और कुछ बोलने का? बॉस बैठे तो पूछ लेते कुछ और बोलने का।
Yeah. We both are from Kolhapur. I am Dr. Prathapan, the founder Vice Chancellor of D.Y. Patil Agriculture and Technical University, Kolhapur.
I am Professor S.K. Singh, Vice Chancellor, Rajasthan Technical University, Kota.
ये हो गया मेरे शुरुआत तो।
Myself, Dr. Dharmesh Jesha, Vice Chancellor, Indrasil University, Gujarat.
Namaste, Dr. Neerja Gupta, Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad.
I am Professor Harpreet Kaur, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Jodhpur.
Namaskar, Professor Ami Upadhyay, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar State Open University, Gujarat.
Namaskar, Dr. Professor Sandeep Mishra, NIMS Medical University, Jaipur.
So good evening. I'm Dr. G.K. Prabhu, Vice Chancellor, Manipal University, Jaipur.
Namaskar, this is Dr. V.N. Bagre, Vice Chancellor, Pravara Institute of Medical Sciences, Pravara Nagar, Loni. Thank you.
Hello, I am Dr. Vivek Sauji, Vice Chancellor of Bharati Vidyapit, Deemed University, Pune, earlier Vice Chancellor of KLE Academy of Higher Education, Deemed to be University, Belgavi. Thank you.
I'm the only ambassador professor here. And I'm the mentor and professor of international relations in Somaiya University.
नमस्कार, मैं ईना शास्त्री, वनस्थली विद्यापीठ, वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी से।
Namaskar, I'm Victor Gambhir, Vice Chancellor, JCRC University, Jaipur.
मैं डॉक्टर सुरेश चंद्र पहाड़ी, वाइस चांसलर, पूर्णिमा यूनिवर्सिटी, जयपुर।
नमस्कार, प्रोफेसर कारभाड़ी काळे, वाइस चांसलर, डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी, affiliate university for a state, Raigad, Loneri, Maharashtra.
I'm Pramod Pandey, Vice Chancellor, Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, Deemed University, nickname. Before coming to Deccan College Postgraduate, I was at JNU for 20 years, Professor of Linguistics. Thank you.
जी नमस्कार, मैं शिव कुमार त्रिपाठी, वाइस चांसलर आत्मीय विश्वविद्यालय राजकोट, गुजरात।
Hello, I am Professor Krishnakant Dave, Vice Chancellor, Pacific University, Udaipur.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am Rajan Velukar, and presently I am Vice Chancellor of Atlas Skill Tech University in Mumbai. Thank you.
Hello, Professor Kishore C. Chawda, Vice Chancellor, Veer Narbha South Gujarat University, Surat, Gujarat. Hello, good evening. Myself, Dr. Dinesh Shah, Vice Chancellor, Ukatashra University, Bardoli, Surat. Thank you.
Namaskar. My name is Dr. M. Sridhar Rao. I am the Vice Chancellor of Swaminarayan University, Gandhinagar, Gujarat.
Namaskar. I am Bharat Joshi, Senior Professor of Education, working as in charge Vice Chancellor of Gujarat Vidyapit, Ahmedabad.
Hello, good evening. I am Professor Prakash Manwar, Vice Chancellor, Punyashloka Ahildevi Holkar, Solapur Vidyapit. Thank you.
I am Director, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, that is ISER, Pune, Sunil Bhagavat.
Good afternoon, Dr. Udani, Vice Chancellor, Sakalchand Patel University, Visnagar, Gujarat, former scientist ISRO.
Namaskar, myself Ramasankar Dubey, I am Vice Chancellor, Central University of Gujarat, Gandhinagar.
Hello everybody, I am Dr. Neelam Mishra. I am Vice Chancellor of Krishna Vishwavidyapit, Karad, that is in Satara district, Maharashtra. That is Health University. Thank you.
Myself, Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General with Association of Indian Universities. And there we also have Dr. Pathak, who is the Vice President of AIU and Vice Chancellor of Kanpur University. Sir, आपको मैं बोलूं आप नहीं फिर भी
नमस्कार, मैं प्रोफेसर जी.डी. शर्मा, AIU प्रेसिडेंट और वाइस चांसलर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी मेघालय. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सबको यहाँ आने के लिए.
Good evening, friends. I am Dr. Rajan Sinha. I am the Vice Chancellor of Sandeep University in Nasik.
Yes. Rajshekaran Pillai, Vice Chancellor Somaiya Vidyavihar University, Mumbai.
I am Professor Gangadhar Shirude. I am the Vice Chancellor, Sri Balaji University, Pune.
Namaskar, Anil Agarwal from Nikmar University, Pune.
मैं डॉक्टर आलोक मिश्रा, मैं ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी भारतीय विश्वविद्यालय संघ. कोई किसी का परिचय रह गया है पीछे में?
Good evening, one and all present here. A very warm welcome to the second technical session. The session's theme is on human-centered skills in a tech-driven world, soft skills and emotional intelligence. In a tech-driven world where automation, artificial intelligence, and digital tools are becoming increasingly prevalent, human-centered skills, particularly soft skills and emotional intelligence, play a significant role in fostering effective communication, collaboration, and overall success. While technology is reshaping industries, these human-centered skills are essential for building strong relationships, understanding and meeting human needs, and navigating complex social and professional interactions. Before we begin, I would like to invite the dignitaries on the dais. Professor Rajan Velukar, sir. Dr. AIU Upadhyay, Professor Karbhari Kale, and Professor Ramashankar Dubey. A very warm welcome to all of you to today's VC's meeting. The session will deliberate on the significance of soft skills like communication, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, adaptability, and collaboration. The technical session would discuss how these skills can be integrated into the course curriculums to enhance employability, promote effective teamwork, and enable students to thrive in diverse work environments. Today, we have with us eminent academicians to discuss and deliberate on the theme. I now take this opportunity to introduce the session chair, Professor Rajan Velukar. Professor Rajan Velukar is Vice Chancellor of Atlas Skill Tech University, Mumbai. Earlier, he served as Vice Chancellor at the University of Mumbai, Yashwantrao Chavan Maharashtra Open University, Nasik, Oro University, Surat, and G.H. Rai Soni University, Nagpur. He has served as Provost of Somaiya Group of Institution, In-charge Vice Chancellor of SNDT Women's University, In-charge Director, Sydenham Institute of Management Studies, Research and Entrepreneurship Education, Senior Program Officer at Commonwealth Secretariat's CYP Asia Region, Deputy Secretary to the Governor of Maharashtra. Okay. So Rajan sir doesn't need any introduction. Due to paucity of time, thank you sir for your magnanimous presence. I request Pandit Vidyadhar Vyas, Dean Faculty and Performing Arts of Somaiya Vidyavihar University to welcome and felicitate Rajan sir. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce Dr. AIU Upadhyay. AIU Upadhyay is a Vice Chancellor, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar State Open University, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, with teaching experience of more than 24 years. She has been a professor of English literature and language and director of the School of Humanities and Social Sciences with Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. We welcome you, ma'am. I request Vidyadhar sir to please felicitate our guest. We are privileged to have Professor Karbhari Kale. Professor Karbhari Kale serves as a Vice Chancellor of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University in Lonere. Previously, he served as the Vice Chancellor on an additional charge basis at Savitri Bai Phule Pune University, Pune. With over 32 years of experience in teaching, research, and innovation, he is a renowned academician in the field of computer science and information technology. He has received several academic honors and professional distinction, including the Vijay Shri Award, finalist ICT Researcher of the Year 2016 ACS Australia, and Research Professor Award for the year 2016-17. I request Vidyadhar sir to welcome and facilitate Professor Kale. I'm pleased to welcome and introduce Professor Ramashankar Dubey. Professor Ramashankar Dubey is a Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Gujarat, Gandhinagar. Earlier, he served as Vice Chancellor at Tilka Manji Bhagalpur University, Bhagalpur, Bihar, 2014-2017. Guru Ghashidas University, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. He has served as a professor of biochemistry at Banaras Hindu University for over 20 years. He is a member of the Board of Governors of IISER Mohali, MHRD Council's nominee for selections at IISER Kolkata, visitors nominee at IIT Madras and IIT Guwahati. I request Vidyavihar sir to felicitate and welcome Dubey sir. Thank you, Vidyavihar sir, for your kindness and gracious presence. Before we begin the session, it's my moral responsibility to just to give you an overview of the structure. So the opening remarks shall be done by the session chair, followed by insights from each of the speakers, and the discussion will witness, followed by the Q&A. So I request Rajan sir to begin the session with his opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible? Yeah. Great. Good evening, and I'm sure you must be waiting for ending this session early, because we have already delayed by 10-15 minutes. Anyway, I will not take much of your time, as my subject is statistics and mathematics, so I will be speaking mathematically and sometimes statistically. My colleagues who are sitting here as an expert on this very, very important subject, which has been given to us by the Association of Indian Universities. Madam Professor Ami Upadhyay, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ramashankar Dubeji, and Professor Karbhari Kale, my panelist, and the respected Vice Chancellors of various universities of West Zone. And the invitees, those who are sitting here, some students, some teachers, some volunteers, and everyone. The topic which has been given to us to discuss is human-centered skills in a tech-driven world, soft skills and emotional intelligence. Very, very important subject which we have to deal with it. I'll just read one paragraph which has been written by my colleague, and we had discussed that topic, and we had written in the AIU magazine which has been released here. I would like to read that paragraph before all of you. And then I start my presentation about this topic, and then I'll give an opportunity to my colleague to speak. Can you show my presentation? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let it be. So this is the paragraph which we had written in this magazine. In this AI world, tech-driven world, we really don't know where are we leading our life, or where are we going to lead our life. We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. The speed with which the changes are happening sometimes are not in our hands also. And there are a lot of research studies done on this. And therefore, this is the most important topic of discussion in the entire world. The question is, which shore are we sailing to? We don't know. Which shore are we sailing to? The twist is, we don't really know where we are headed. Truths, realities, relationships, and responsiveness will change. Nature and animals, elements and weather, our environments and people will as well. Speculatively speaking, we are looking at a crystal ball, which could be full of hope, or conspiracy and intrigue, annihilation and doomsday, or perhaps some other state of suspended animation. We will know when it is time, but till then, our call as mentors is to create engagements with our mentees on every eventuality, deconstruct and reconfigure to make life worthy and living better. Their approach again will be the key. And this is the key in understanding the world in this tech-driven society. So what kind of soft skills and what kind of emotional intelligence we will be needing, that we will have to understand. And therefore, I say that this is what our topic is and what kind of soft skills which we will be needing in this world. Next slide. This is me. You should recognize. Next slide. Yeah. Very, very important. Being human in an AI world. The first thing is empathy over algorithm. Very, very important. Empathy over algorithm. Second is, I'm just giving you the points to discuss on. Second is creativity over code. We're writing the code, but creativity is more important than that code. Third is intuition is irreplaceable. You cannot replace the intuition with artificial intelligence also, or the technologies which we are going to come. And in this AI world, sometimes you may have to say, it's okay to be human. The people will say, if they really don't understand the development of human being since several thousands and thousands of years, because we are pushing our children only towards skills, and through skills earning money, and that is not the entire life, and therefore they may think that this is only the life which they will be able to see. Next slide. So this is the most important question in this tech-driven society we may have. What do humans have that AI doesn't have? That is the question which we need to ask. Because the speed of AI is tremendous. We may not be able to achieve that kind of speed. But still, we have something which AI may not have. And therefore, we need to ask this question to us, and we need to adapt to whatever technologies which are happening. So what is that which AI may not have? Next slide. That is heart. AI may not have heart. But what does this heart means? Heart also has some meaning. What does H means? What does E means? What does A means? What does R means? And what does T means? So we will need this heart in this tech-driven world. So these are the skills which we will be needing in this tech-driven world. Now what does this H means? Go to the next. Next slide. Next slide. the H stands for humility, which AI may not have. So that humility, also we need to define what humility is. I would like to tell a story that a monk came to Buddha and said that there is nobody more humble than me. A monk said to Buddha that there is nobody in this world who's more humble than me. That is why I have come to you to tell to you, so that you can give a stamp. Like NAC comes and then accredit us and then give us the stamp. So that person, that monk wanted Buddha's stamp. Then Buddha said, I have seen more humble person than you in this world. The monk got angry. Do you understand the story? That is not humility. And that humility, this AI will not have for two reasons. Because it is written, the code is written by somebody who's not a God, if we believe in God, who doesn't know entire thing because universe is all the time expanding. And therefore understand AI-driven world or tech-driven world from this perspective. And the moment you understand this perspective, you will understand humanity. And the moment we understand humanity, then we will be able to fight with whatever negative tech which is going to happen. Because AI also, those who have brought AI and those who are going to use AI are naturally want to make money, isn't it? They are not creating this AI, or they are not going to write the code just for barring few, for the help of the entire humanity, but they would also want to commercialize whatever they are doing. And therefore this humility is very, very important, and that is what we need to bring it to our education system. How do we, I don't say teach, but how do we create an environment where children will learn this? Also the teachers. So humility is very, very important. The second, next slide, E of heart is empathy. Sympathy doesn't help. In a mother's womb, from outside, father can show sympathy, but the mother shows empathy because that child is part of her body. So the mother really understands, but the father says, yeah, he might be having some trouble, but that is sympathy. But the mother is having empathy. There are hundreds of examples of this. Now we need to teach our students what empathy is and how to show that empathy. हिंदी में एक बहुत अच्छा शब्द है जिसको संवेदना कहते हैं. दूसरे की वेदना, जब वो हमारी वेदना हम समझते हैं, तब संवेदना पैदा होती है. That is empathy. But now there is one more system which has come, that is called as compassionate systems framework in education. Peter Singh came out with this in 2015. I hope everybody knows about Peter Singh, and we need to understand what compassionate systems framework is and how do we bring that compassionate systems framework into our education system is very, very important. Next, A stands for adaptable. AI will come, but whatever is going to happen, we need to adapt. Adaptability for survival of our own. So adaptability, again there is a story, but I will save time because these three colleagues have to speak. Then next, resilience. We all are talking about it, so I need not talk about resilience. We have to be resilient. And therefore, even in new education policy, we need to understand beta, not alpha. The beta mode of education. Now beta, if you want to understand beta mode of education, the beta mode is always changing. You have not achieved the complete. So look at this NEP also from that angle. It is not that the document, 60-page document has been created and now everything has been done. No. Look at that document from beta angle, beta mode angle, and then we will understand. So in this tech-driven also, you should always be in beta mode, and that beta, you will always be in beta mode, and therefore this resilience will help you. This, to understand this, we need to bring that kind of system in our education. Next is trust. Nothing like it. If you don't have trust, you are going to suffer in this tech-driven world. And therefore, trust is the most important thing. This is how I feel that these are the skills which will allow us to survive in future in this tech-driven world. How do we bring this into our curriculum? How do we integrate this into our curriculum is very, very important. Because the skills, soft skills or hard skills, whatever we are talking about, in 2023 and in 2025, the skills will be very, very different which we will be requiring. And therefore, we have to be very, very resilient and adaptable as well. And about these soft skills, Simon Sinek has said, I was writing, sitting at the back, he says, I really reject the idea of soft skills. He says, I reject the idea of soft skills. There is nothing soft about them. We have hard skills and we have human skills. And therefore, in this tech-driven world, we have to talk about human skills. We need more human skills in business and education, whatever we are going to empower in today's world. And therefore, how do we integrate all these things into our curriculum is the biggest challenge. I'm sure my panelists are very, very learned people, and I'll give them more chance, and if required, I may speak at the last, if required, and if the time permits. So therefore, with this few words, introduction of the topic and my views on this topic, may I now invite Professor Dr. Ami Upadhyay, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Open University in Gujarat, to say a few words. And I'm sure, Madam, Pankaj Madam, I give them 7 minutes to speak, or what you can? 10 minutes, okay. So, yeah, very good. So you can speak for 8 minutes, and then plus 2 minutes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Welcome.
Namaskar. It's really a matter of pleasure and privilege to share my views. That are views on the topic which is close to my belief system and close to my heart. पंकज जी, ये पोडियम है वो सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से बना हुआ है. अगर उसमें ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक इमोशंस कुछ ऐड हुए होते तो ये जेंडर बायस नहीं, जेंडर सेंसिटिव होता. तो फिर विमेन की जो एवरेज हाइट है उसके मुताबिक होता, या फिर ऐसे ही जैसे कोई आए तो एडजस्ट हो जा. तो दैट व्हाट आई वेरी स्ट्रांगली व्हाई आई एडेड इट, बिकॉज दैट flavor is always added by human emotions. Human-centric skills in a tech-driven world. Human-centric. Human is not equivalent to robots, so it is not robot-centric. When we say tech-driven world, the technology-driven world, and technology is driven by human. So human-driven technology, so at the end of the day, the control is in the hands of human. So it is the human that dominates, so everything should be human-centric. when we talk about human centric, हम human centric की जब बात करते हैं, तो the technology is changing so fast, so fast. I'm reminded of a cartoon that I read in my college days or something, कि एक बंदा नए कपड़े पहनकर दुकान से खरीदकर सीधा बाजार में दौड़ रहा था. कहाँ जा रहा है? अगर फैशन चेंज हो जाए उससे पहले एक बार घूम लूँ. The technology is changing this much fast. तो एक तरफ हम कह रहे हैं that we would be training our learners for that technology which is changing every day. We are talking about the skills that we will be training them that is changing every day. Shiv Khera rightly says that we cannot prepare future for our kids or our learners, but we can prepare our learners for the future. Preparing learners for the future is always about soft skills because they are human beings. Now when we look at the problems around, have a glance over it. Why the technology was, whenever any creation, innovation took place, most of the time it was to help a human being, to make life easier, to save time, to save energy. Why to save time and why to save energy? To save time, to save energy, to have more leisure, to have more meaningful life, to have more satisfactory fulfillment in life, to have happy life. Again, I'm reminded of an advertisement long back I had watched, that some cold drink, that a guy is lying, and friend comes, go, ye kar, wo kar, इसके बाद ये होगा तो ये हो जाएगा, ये होगा तो ये हो जाएगा, ये होगा तो ये हो जाएगा, तो पूरा ऐश करेगा. तो मैं अभी क्या कर रहा हूँ? So sometimes again we need to revisit our certain concepts of success, fulfillment, and being rich in life. There was a time that everybody used to define, GDP, GDP, GDP. People started talking a lot about emotional quotient, social quotient, spiritual quotient. People have started talking a lot about happiness index. Why happiness index? Because what matters at the end of the day is happiness. When one wants to get into certain career, when one wants to get into certain dream houses, the reason is happiness. Tech-driven world, everything is handy. But after one another, students, learners, human beings start realizing there is no end of it. Lot of frustrations, lot of problems, lot of depression, psychological problems, disease, suicidal tendencies, and now the best sellers of the world that talk about the monk who sold his Ferrari. So somewhere we are coming back, having the whole ride of the technology, we are coming back to the same thing, that is soft skill. Now I have been associated with placements since I have joined, and I've started in my job in teaching field. The best companies would come and they will always ask for soft skills. They say technical we give, we don't, but we want team players. There are your gold medalists. They know everything. But they tell that you give me, I'll be able to, I cannot work with him. I cannot work with her. We don't want those people. So say, I am talking since 2 decades. Everybody wants a soft skill person. Adaptability, changing. Yes, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Are we ready to accept? Now the world is becoming a small village, that cultural differences, are we ready to accept that? So that is very, 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 very important. Even, all of us are vice chancellors, leaders. Our own experiences, think of that. Who comes with very innovative ideas? Are they the senior most people? Think about it. Are they the most brightest people who have played a vital role in the growth of the institute? No, generally they are passionate about work. Generally they are people who are ready to learn, who are ready to grow, who are ready to help. So adaptability, communication plays very, very vital role. When we talk about technology at that time also, who develops technology? They're the team of people. You go to any field, anywhere, it is people. People play a vital role. It is total quality people, it is not the infrastructure. I'm sure we are sitting here, sir would agree that it is not the infrastructure that makes Somaiya group such a successful group. It is the contribution of individuals that play wide. And contribution is not their CV. Contribution is their attitude, is their communication skills, it's their adaptability, it's their critical thinking. How they are ready to think out of box, that really matters. I do remember, you know, I again read long back. In a compartment, a highly educated vice chancellor and a shepherd, they were traveling together. So vice chancellor with all arrogance that he doesn't know anything, and shepherd could make it out very easily. Then उसने कहा समय पसार करने के लिए कुछ बातें करे, तो शेफर्ड ने कहा हाँ करे, तो कुछ सवाल जवाब करते हैं, तो साहब आप तो बहुत पढ़े लिखे आदमी हो, आप मुझे सवाल करेंगे, मुझे ना आया तो मैं 10 रुपया दूंगा, अगर मैं पूछूं आपको ना आया तो आप मुझे 100 रुपया देंगे। उसने कहा हाँ ठीक है। शेफर्ड ने पहले सवाल किया, tell me the name of an animal which walks in the morning, swims in the noon and flies in the night. तो वाइस चांसलर तो टेंशन में आ गया, सीधा 100 का नोट दे दिया। फिर उसने तुरंत पूछा, अब तू बता कौन सा एनिमल है? उसने जट से निकाल के 10 रुपया दे दिया। Now I think this is what is required, and technology will never be able to do that. Technology, AI, anything, they will be able to do mundane things, repetitive things, when matter comes to creating new things, solving the problems. Because most of the time, the problems that we face, human being today, the problems they face, those are the problems created by the technology. And now the human intervention is required in that. I hope I have taken 10 minutes and I'm completed within that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for keeping the time and wonderful presentation. Now may I request you would like to say? Professor Karbhari Kale. I am sure you will finish within the time.
Thank you. Good evening to one and all. The chairman of this session, and thank to the AIU authority for being placed me here in front of you in the very crucial and important technical session, that is human-centered skill in tech-driven world. I put another additional word here, the crucial role of soft skill and emotional intelligence. As has been well said by the earlier speakers and the chairman, and he has quoted the Simon Sinek quote that we need the more human skill in business today. But before that, the long back, the world scientist, the famous, the Albert Einstein says, and I quote, related to the technology constant, I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. Again, he says, and I quote, the human spirit must prevail over the technology. Again, another two quote I would like to put in front of you. The concern for man himself and his faith must always constitute the chief objective of all technological endeavors. And the final related to this, I believe that the amenable deterioration of ethical standards stem primarily from the mechanization and a personalization of our lives, a disastrous byproduct of science and technology. These are the important quotations that he has made in the long back, and still it is supposed to be continued with the technology, that of the pursuance of the human-centered skill. Science has radically changed the condition of human life on the earth, and it has expanded our knowledge and our power, but not our capacity to use them with wisdom. And wisdom is playing a crucial role again in the human-centered skill. Professor has already specified, I am not going to repeat that Simon Sinek interpretation, but the William Fulbright has specifically mentioned about the soft skill that of the soft skill in terms of technical and non-technical. So what are those soft skills? So teamwork, critical thinking, interpersonal skills, empathy. Empathy and sympathy is more important word in today's AI and modern age. I will put one small component on that empathy. Time management, adaptability, perseverance, and patience. So that machine and technology doesn't have these, but non-technical soft skills are important related to human-centered skill. If you are coined together, I think that problem will be more easier to tackle. What are the important soft skill for? Why we use this particular skill for as per the constraints and current scenario? It will be effective, useful for effective communication, problem-solving strategies, conflict resolutions, stress management, time management, and presentation skill altogether for specific in the performing the business. And the questions, that is the emotional questions and the empathy and sympathy that we are going to define in related to the human-centered skill. The EQ, that is Daniel Goleman, an American psychologist, popularly say the term emotional intelligence. What emotional intelligence? He has specified some of the elements, and I quote, that is the self-awareness, self-regulation, and intermotion, and empathy again comes into the picture. Overall, considering all these particular components, we may say that technology, no doubt, has brought a resolution in different sectors. But we need to reflect upon the fact that it has to be used as a facilitator. The moment we succumb to it, we get enslaved. And that is what technology is useful servant, but a dangerous master. So if you want to suppose to convert this particular composition into the real realistic composition, we may have to consider the importance of the skill and importance of the empathy and the sympathical composition. So discovery learning says the 5 important power of the skill for the employabilities of today's employer, that they adopt communication, customer service, leadership, attention to the details, and collaboration. But more than we require in the next generation composition, that we need to have the 5 power skill to be most in demand in coming to year. And that are again the collaboration, achievement focus, customer focus, culture and social intellectual. And more important is personal learning and mastery. Considering this particular aspect, again, how we can able to achieve the human-centered skill. Everybody knows that the technology and skill both are the human being creations. And what we can say, the creation of the human being skill through the technology and use of the technology is again made by the human being, and only the humans are the animal on the earth who has created this mystery for each other. So what I would like to say, the empathy, what empathy and what sympathy, as Professor Yolkor has well defined by putting the example, but the empathy has been defined in different terms, and I quote, empathy is the ability to understand and share the feeling of another person. That machine cannot. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing the world from their perspective. When leaders are empathic, they can better build trust and rapport with their employees. And they are also better able to understand the challenges that their employees are being forced and provide the support of the need of the success. So empathy in that way, if you are dealing with the human-centered skill, might be the crucial one has been delimited, and we can resolve the gap between the soft skill and emotional intelligence. Why empathy is important for the leadership, particularly in our sector of the business of the society, building the genuine connection, fueling the collaboration and innovation, enhancing the decision making, boosting employee morale and engagement, navigating a multicultural landscape, and customer-centric approach. So if you elaborate this, maybe in the management and science and technology, one can put this type of combinations in Indian knowledge system to revamp this particular aspect altogether. What are the challenges in the digital age? Communication overload, virtual collaboration, adapting the technology, cybersecurity concern, managing digital transformation, and digital distraction. So to avoid this, again, this is the man creations, and input it into the empathical and sympathetical manner way, we need the more central skill of the human being that we are supposed to be achieved. What are the benefits of the empathic leadership in the digital age? No doubt, empathic leadership in the digital age are nature's accomplishments, innovations, and high-performing team culture, propelling, involving, and organizing the toward the success. So let us look at for the empathical way to resolve the conflict of the problem of the society. So empathic leader benefit if you are going to achieve this in terms of the human-centered skill and in terms of the soft skill, then it gives the benefit toward the problem solution, evaluate the team morality, enhance the communication, reduce the stress, boost the retention, and evacuate the reputation. I think these are the important achievements that everybody want to achieve through this particular constant. How to be an empathic leader in the digital age, being an AI composition. So creating the human connection, not a machine, can encouraging the flexibility, promoting a work-life balance, cultivating mental well-being, and embracing the technical advancement and installing the feedback culture and supporting continuous learning. Those compositions, if you are supposed to be make it in front of technological constant and in terms of the human constant, I think the empathy will be more and more involved to evolve the human-centered skill to achieve the, or to bridging the gap between the soft skill and hard skill. Coming to the last point, that is the AI, again, it is a human being creation. So all technology is created by the human being, and human being facing the challenges to involve it, adapted it, and there are so many debates. But being on the time constraint, I will put the very few composition in front of you. What are the emotional intelligence and human-centered leadership, collaborative definitions and constants made by the people. As it in essence, emotional intelligence, that is we call it the EI, as I say that emotional quotient, then intellectuality. Likewise, EI has been defined, which refers to one's capacity of to recognize, understand, and manage emotion, both within oneself and in interaction with the others. So EI is underpinned by the self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill. I think the self-motivations and self-regulation is an important component to achieve the human-centered skill with the soft skill and technical skill, if one can. So human-centered leadership, meanwhile, is a leadership philosophy and approach that prioritizes human values, needs, and potential in decision-making, keeping people at the center of organizational process. In direct relate to the emotional intelligence because of it revolves around empathy, ethical clarity, a growth mindset, and the adaptability. So in this sense, in the SCI, in a recent article, Josh Brent stated that the traditional leadership is all about the performance, profitability, deadliness, project, status report, and result. However, human-centered leadership, on the other hand, put people first and make success happen with people, not despite them. So these are the main composition and constant between the human and humanity beyond the soft skill and hard skill that one has to achieve in terms of their composition balancing to this particular point. So balancing technology and human ability needs to the culture, and we should adapt the culture as a human being for performing some particular point, as we can say, reinforce a culture values emotional intelligence, important AI as a support tool, then involve human in AI decision, ensure transformation and ethical use of AI, focus on continual learning and upskilling, and humanize AI interaction. And the final quote and conclusion on the basis of these that we can say that technology can map pattern, but only human mind can truly understand another. In this way, successful leadership in this new era reset on one's ability to join the strength of AI with the profound depth of human emotion, institution, and contribution. Whereas emotional intelligence and human-centered leadership are critical for managing AI and human capabilities in a way that protect human contribution and agencies. They are the key on sharing in a future where mechanism, empathy, humanity, potential, rather than the define it. And that's why we need to have to focus more constant about the soft skill, about the emotional intelligence, and that two basis found to be an important criteria for human-centered skill. So if you adopt the human-centered skill altogether while performing the technological development, might be the AI may or beyond going to cross the limit, and no AI is supposed to be intervention in the human decision making, and which will be helpful for betterment of the India. So through Bharatiya Parampara, IKS, we can involve such type of program at part the cross-discipline and interdiscipline to achieve the different type of skill in a different program. And that maybe we can say the Vikashit Bharat 2047, which we can maybe achieve very easily and successful. So I think because of the time constraint, my time is over. Thank you very much for patient listening and giving me this opportunity once again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Kai, for your perspective on this topic. May I now invite Professor Ramashankar Dubeji. Of course, you know the time limit.
आप सभी को प्रणाम। जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं, हमारा भारत विश्व का प्राचीनतम संस्कृति और समृद्ध संस्कृति और सभ्यता वाला देश है, जिसने अपने गुणों से, अपने मानवोचित गुणों से, ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक स्किल्स से पूरे विश्व को प्रभावित किया है। यहाँ पर मैं कहना चाहूँगा राष्ट्रकवि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर की दो पंक्तियाँ कि भारत नहीं स्थान का वाचक, गुण विशेष नर का है, एक देश का नहीं सील्य भूमंडल भर का है। कि अपनी सभ्यता और संस्कृति से पूरे विश्व को प्रभावित किया है। हमारे पास अनेक उदाहरण हैं, हमारे धर्म ग्रंथों में अनेक उदाहरण हैं जो मानवोचित गुणों को, ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक स्किल को हम अपना सकते हैं और अपने करिकुलम में हम उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट कर सकते हैं। Of course, that there are many advantages of science and technology, because whenever we talk about the growth of any nation, science and technology are being taken as indicators. And our teaching learning environment has also changed due to adoption of newer technologies. May I have next, please? But there have been various challenges, rather multiple of challenges in the tech-driven world, because we know the crucial is the brain functions are being taken over by the technologies, and our brain is becoming underutilized. And this is, the memory is decreasing in the last, because due to the Google effect. Earlier we used to memorize the things. Now it is not there. So there is a need that in the tech-driven world also, we should not forget our human-centric skill, and rather we should have a balanced application of human-centric skills in the tech-driven world. In the era of technological advancement in all spheres of life, including education, industries, or any professional workplace, persons possessing high level of soft skills or human-centric skills and values are needed to communicate in different situations with different people, building successful interpersonal relationship, teams, and organizations to solve our complex problems. And NEP 2020, it envisages holistic education as a way to lead the country into 21st century. And there it has been advocated that our curriculum, we must include these soft skills. So when we talk about human-centric skill in the future of work is shifting, and humans and machines work alongside each other. So one needs to possess the right kind of skills or human-centric skills to differentiate oneself and secure a successful future while moving into the new domain of the working environment. Yeah, when we talk about the human-centric skill, a lot has been talked about. I won't go into details. The communication skills, interpersonal relationship, adaptability to change, solving the complex problems. Yeah, leadership skills, diversity, cultural awareness, and inclusivity. This is very important, because in an inclusive environment, we are talking about sustainable development goals. For an inclusive society, we must consider that gender parity and various social justice and various other norms, and enhanced collaboration and teamwork that is becoming very, very important. There is the machines, that comfort is there, but the face-to-face interaction is not that much. So we have to take care of that one. Conflict resolution and productivity. This landscape of conflict is also changing compared to earlier years, because we are losing our patience on very small items, small discussions. So, and decision-making process, this landscape is also changing. So decision-making ability, the ability to make informed, timely decisions, it involves analyzing data and evaluating options. The compassion is very important, which I talked about, and time management, that was also talked about earlier. Then patience and work ethics. Yeah. That's innovation, initiative, humility. I talked about these skills, soft skills. Then resilience, talked about, and strategic thinking, because in the changing scenario, we have to think ahead and plan for the future. And the skill involves being able to identify trends and anticipate challenges and develop effective strategies to achieve business objectives. Yes, negotiation, we know how to negotiate also, that is also very important in these days. Goal setting, persuasion. In many cases, we are unable to persuade in our educational institutions, and we face various challenges. So that also, stress management, as pointed out just now. Trustworthiness, very important. It is very difficult to get trusted people. And enthusiasm, so a leader has to motivate. Then here I would like to tell the famous patriot of the nation, Mahamana Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, when he used to address the students, gathering of the students, he used to tell that Satyena Brahmacharyena Vyayamenaya Vidyaya Desh Bhaktya Atmatyagena Sammanarha Sadabhava. He used to tell to the students that you will be respectable in the society only when you practice speaking truth. You develop, become like Brahmacharya, Vyayamenaya. Always you have to go for the exercise like yoga and others. And Vidya, the lifelong learning, this is very important. Even you become a teacher and go in professional field, you practice lifelong learning, lifelong being educated. Desh Bhaktya Atmatyagena, Desh Bhakti, bhakti for your country, being a patriotic, because it gives an idea for self-sacrifice. Desh Bhaktya Atmatyagena, Sammanarha Sadabhava, then only you will be respected in the society. And it was talked about Swami Vivekananda in the morning. He also used to tell that ideal of education should be man-making, because in our earlier Gurukul system, instruction was not only being provided, it was not only confined to intellectual development, but the Gurukul system of education was confined for the development of all-round development of personality, development of mind, body, and soul. So Vivekananda was also of the opinion that once the education with its character is formed and the strength of mind is increased, and there's a strength of mind related to the soft skills for taking various types of decision. And in the Bhagavad Gita, we know very well that karma devadhikaraste ma phalishu kadachana ma karma fel hetu bhulma tet sangotsapi karmani. That Lord Krishna educates Arjuna that you become selfless worker. Then only you can succeed in a society. But what is happening? Always we have some self when we are working. And this is the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna tells about 26 life skills, because our scriptures are full of philosophical thoughts. So we can take example from the Bhagavad Gita, 26 life skills. He's telling about that Abhyam Satsvam Suddhi Gyan Arjuna Bhavasita, like that, oh sign of Bharat, oh Arjuna, these are the saintly virtues of those endowed with a divine nature. Fearlessness, purity of mind, steadfastness in spiritual knowledge, charity, control of the senses, sacrifice, study of sacred books, austerity and straightforwardness, non-violence, truthfulness, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, restraint from fault-finding, compassion towards all living beings, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, and lack of fickleness, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanness, bearing enmity towards none, and absence of vanity. And we know that Mahadani Karna, he was a symbol of sacrifice and friendship. Now, coming to emotional intelligence, enormous examples we are having in our scriptures about emotional intelligence. That it was pointed out that it has been mentioned in Maitrayani Upanishad, Maneva Manushanam Karanam Bandha Moksha. The mind is the cause of bondage and liberation of human beings. So when attached to the material worlds, it leads to bondage, but when detached, it leads to liberation. So true emotional intelligence involves recognizing the temporary nature of the material possessions and cultivating detachment. Then only we can use our emotional intelligence in a better way. And anger is a destructive emotion that clouds our judgment and disrupts harmony. We should develop emotional intelligence by cultivating patience and understanding. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is pointing out that krodha bhavati samboha smriti vibhramaha smriti buddhinaso pranasyati. Means anger leads to clouding of the judgment, which results in bewilderment of the memory. When the memory is bewildered, the intelligence gets destroyed and one is ruined. So, Arjun, noblest amongst men is that person who is not affected by happiness or distress and remains steady in both, becomes eligible for liberation. So now just coming to the end. So the life skills, for example, from Lord Rama, he himself is an example. We can take, example from a high level of righteous and firm conduct, a follower of true religious principle. Daivik, bhautik, tapa, rama, rajya nahi kahu hi vyapa. We know it very well. So wise, compassionate and heroic in battle, fearless. He was loved by all, alike towards friends and foes, like Nisad Raj, we know very well. Truthful in his statements, son of great King Dasarath, but even he committed that I will go to the forest. He never entered any city during 14 years of period. So firm in his words, Dridabrat, help his friends, benefactor of all living beings, learned man, competent, tolerant, and Rama as a king, Sita as a woman, Bharat as brother, Hanuman as sevak, and Ravana as learned but unethical person. So these are the examples. Next, please. Yeah. So India is a nation, rich culture, and the soft powers we have, spirituality, yoga, darshan, and world is one family we know very well. And our culture has always believed on the synthesis of materialism as well as spiritualism. And we worship in our actions, with our values, in our skills, human soft skills. We worship Mother Earth, we worship all trees, rivers, and every living being is sacred to us. So that's why we worship for peace everywhere. And ayamija parobiti garna laguchir sam udar charitanam hitu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. All families like us, so that has been our vision.
Can we, sir?
Yeah, just last slide, please. So I was pointing out that an ancient system of education where the education was not confined only with intellectual development, but it was confined to overall development of the personality. So that's why that our earlier speakers also pointed out that we need to integrate Indian knowledge system, Indian wisdom of soft skills in our curriculum so that our educational institutions should prepare complete human being. Our educational institutions should not get confined to impart only knowledge in a particular discipline. But this is also the responsibility of our educational institutions to produce complete human being who can be competent for the 21st century and who should be competent in a tech-driven world to take India into the as a Viksit Bharat by 2047, as our Honorable Prime Minister pointed out. So thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for giving me the time.
Thank you, Professor, for your wonderful presentation. I'm sure we have already crossed our time limit, but wonderful presentation, and I'm sure I was thinking that now before 10-15 years, the UGC came out with a circular that is after every PhD submission, thesis submission, there has to be an open viva. And in the open viva, the referees and the student sits on this side and the audience can ask questions. So this is the situation, same situation. So you may cross question to this, but just before, let me complete. In a lighter mode, I would like to show you one video of 1 minute. Can you show the video? Do you have? Yeah, if you can, please.
Playing jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, tandläkare at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
Sånn, så skal vi sette en til.
Ja. Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Get over the door. Open the door.
Wrong voice command. Error.
Hey, with a rock. Open door. Open door.
Higher volume. Higher.
Open door.
Door open.
Radio on.
Playing radio.
Lights.
Lights on.
Protein shake.
Making protein shake.
New York.
Loading New York. Set speed.
4.
4.
6.
6. 16.
4.
Error.
16. 4.
4. Correction. 16.
Hallo.
Hey, Brian. Går det bra? Stop.
Up.
Nine, down.
Lights down.
Only 16. Only
4.
Fra en klassiker til en annen, her er Summer of 69.
69.
4.
Her er neste låt, også en klassiker.
74. 75. You are breaking the world record. 75.
4. 6.
Louder, please.
Stop.
Stopping.
Det trenger ikke være komplisert å leve sunt. Ikke trenger det være dyrt heller.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Rema 1000. Bare lave priser.
Yeah. So I just showed you this. This may happen to us if we don't have the skills, human skills. So while writing the codes, now you understand what is going to happen and therefore why we need human skills. That is what we wanted to communicate to you. I hope whatever we have communicated, you also were knowing. But some people has to sit on this side, some people has to sit on that side. You may ask questions, whatever you have, and we will answer whatever we want to. Please go ahead.
I am Professor Karunesh Saxena, Vice Chancellor, Sangam University. It was a wonderful session, and all the panelists must be complimented for very nice presentations. All of us know that emotional intelligence contributes to about 80% to the success of a professional. Remaining 20% comes from cognitive intelligence. I always wonder that why academic institutions are not laying emphasis in the same proportion. I come from Bhilwara, Rajasthan. Kota is very near to us. It used to be called coaching capital of the country, and now the suicide cases are on the rise. My belief is that if we introduce emotional intelligence in the school curriculum, then most of the problems may be solved. I am presently working on a RUSA-sponsored project
for how the AI interventions can prevent the suicidal tendencies among the adolescent students of Rajasthan, including Kota. So your take on this, please. Thank you.
Yeah, she is going to respond, but before that, just again in a lighter vein, some truth in it. I read somewhere, knowing what to do is not the problem in India. Not doing is the problem. You are doing, so we compliment you. Most of you must be trying to do. But that is also not the problem. These are the two I read somewhere in some book, in some sentence, in Indian book. I added one thing to that because I worked in a public institution also. Of course, now I am working in a private institution. So having experience of open as well as closed, private as well as public. We have open education and closed education also, which is traditional universities, and private and public. The third sentence which I added to that is, not allowing to do is the problem in India. And therefore you will receive every day circular in the morning that you pedal forward, and in the evening you will receive a circular that you pedal at the back, because you have. So now we see every day some circular on this. So that is our issue. Otherwise we know the solution.
Thank you, sir. What we can do generally, I think everybody is doing and should be doing. At a university, I would say that we have comparatively, though 1994 we established, since 5 years at a university, we have movie club. Students visiting university and all the staff members. More than 150 very good movies. We made them watch. They will watch movies. The book club is running. In Gujarat, here the Vice Chancellors are there, we had introduced Contributors Personality Development Program, which really focused a lot on soft skills. And I do remember I've taught that for years. And that really yielded wonderful results. I do remember that students of mechanical and civil engineering, people thought that they would never be able to control them, or they would be led on the positive side. I have witnessed a drastic change. So what I feel, somewhere it is very important. For example, movie Her. Most of you might have watched H-E-R, Her movie. It's a nominated movie. It talks about the influence of technology. And in presence of technology, how human mind is in need of, continuous need of human touch, human emotion, love, affection. The movie talks about that. So whenever we make watch students also such movie, we ask them to discuss those movies. So I think that makes huge change. Not only that, in one of his interviews, Harsha Pogle talks about success of Sachin Tendulkar, that it is not Sachin's talent, but it is his attitude that brought him success. And there he compares Sachin with Kamble, Vinod Kamble. So what I feel is that when really if leaders and universities, they know, they will bring change. If they know, they will bring. Because it is their hands, their UGC, neither UGC nor state government comes in picture. Thank you.
This is a very good question, but see, every university is doing some or the other thing. We need to create case studies and we need to share. Sharing is caring. The moment we share, all good practices will come out, and therefore this forum is. The forum has been created for this purpose only. The most important thing is, if I am not reflecting, I am not learning. Now, if I am reflecting, and if I have to reflect, then you need to create an environment, the learning environment, whatever you need to impart. But for that also, gone are the days when you and me studied. Now today, if you don't empower these young people, they are not learning. So the first and foremost thing which we have to do is create learning environment. Number two is empower them to take charge of their life, because now you and me cannot take charge of their life. We have to empower them after creating the learning environment. And there are hundreds of things, innovative things, creative things which can be given to them by engaging them. If they are not engaged, they are not learning. And after empowering, asking them to reflect. Therefore, Gandhi said, I am writing diary every day so that whatever I have done, I am reflecting on that and I am learning on the second day. So these are the only three things will bring transformation, according to me. You may have additional thing. That is what I feel. Yes, madam? Then Professor Magre. वाइस चांसलर का आवाज वैसे भी दबाया गया है, आप माइक तो दो.
दुबे सर से करूंगी क्योंकि उन्होंने पूरा हमारी इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस की जर्नी को, जो स्क्रिप्चरल जर्नी है, उसको आपने सामने रखा है. सर, हम लोग पिछले कुछ सालों से जब कैंपसेस देख रहे हैं तो वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक म्यूजियम्स बन चुके हैं. हार्डली 1/4 यूज़ होता है, बाकी सब टिक लगाने के लिए बड़े बड़े गैजेट्स हैं हमारे पास. लैब जनरेटेड पेटेंट्स हैं जिसमें सुबह बात हुई कि दे आर नॉट अर्निंग मनी, और फिर हम सोचते हैं कि वॉल्स पे लिखकर, फेसबुक की वॉल, ट्विटर की वॉल, और ये वॉल्स पे लिखकर हम ह्यूमन रिस्पॉन्स जब नहीं आता तो डिप्रेशन में जाते हैं. सो दिस इज़ द टेक गवर्न वर्ल्ड, व्हाट आई सी इट. एट द सेम टाइम वी थिंक कि जिन लोगों को हम सोचते हैं कुछ नहीं आता, वो एक्चुअली दे आर रनिंग आवर कल्चरल इकोनॉमी and they are running our emotional economy, so that our indigenous economy is leading the country towards leap and forces. Now my worry is, are we integrating them well in our campuses? Because हमारे स्टार्टअप में जब वो आते हैं, अपना कोई आइडिया लेकर आते हैं, एक फोक सिंगर आता है अपना कोई नया वाद्य बनाने के लिए, या कोई हर्बल सॉल्यूशंस लेके आते हैं, are we having the validation systems into the system that would actually give the solutions to the world? That is the main thing.
मैडम, मैं यहाँ पर कहना चाहूँगा कि यदि आप सबको ध्यान हो, पिछले 15 अगस्त 2022 को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जब विकसित भारत के लिए 5 प्रण की बात की थी, तो उसमें से 5 प्रण में से एक प्रण था कि गुलामी की मानसिकता से मुक्ति होने की बात. हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स में तमाम उदाहरण हैं, इसीलिए मैंने सारे उदाहरण लिए थे, अपने गीता से लिए थे और अपने जो हमारे जो स्क्रिप्चर्स हैं उनसे हमने लिया था. तो गुलामी की मानसिकता से पहले हमको मुक्ति दिलानी पड़ेगी. और स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट, ये बहुत सारी बातें हैं हमारे यहाँ, योगा, आयुर्वेद, ये सिस्टम है, ऑलरेडी चल रहा है. और वही हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम था जिसके चलते फर्स्ट सेंचुरी से लेके 17वीं सेंचुरी तक इंडिया 20-25% वर्ल्ड जीडीपी में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा था. वही हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम था ऑल राउंड डेवलपमेंट पर्सनालिटी का. तो पहले तो गुलामी की मानसिकता से मुक्ति, और दूसरा अपने विरासत के ऊपर गर्व. 5 प्रण में ये 2 प्रण थे. हमको मजबूती के साथ उसको हमको लेना पड़ेगा, और हमको अपना जिसे आप वैलिडेशन की बात कर रही हैं, उसको हमको तैयार करना पड़ेगा. और यूजीसी की तरफ से भी है, जब नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जब रोल्ड आउट हुई उसके बाद से, कि हम इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स अपने करिकुलम में इंटीग्रेट करें. और हमारे यहाँ तो आप जानती भी हैं, गुजरात सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी में एनईपी लागू हुआ, हमारे यहाँ नहीं, बहुत सारे सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में. तो तभी से 2 क्रेडिट कोर्स कंपलसरी, चाहे वो ग्रेजुएट में एडमिशन लड़का ले रहा हो, चाहे पीजी में ले रहा हो, उसको पढ़ाना कंपलसरी है. और हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, पिछले 2 वर्षों से पढ़ा रहे हैं. हमारे यहाँ एमए इन हिंदू स्टडीज़ भी हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, जिसमें स्पेशलाइजेशन है कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. तो हमको अपना ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज और प्लस जो रिसेंट नॉलेज है उसके सिंथेसिस वाले स्टूडेंट्स को हमको तैयार करना है, कि हम अपने भारतीय संस्कृति के भाव से वो कार्य करें, मगर वो ग्लोबल सिटीजन बने, मगर रूटेड हो इंडियन कल्चर में, जो कि हमारी एनईपी की मेन फिलॉसफी है. धन्यवाद.
मैं थोड़ा ऐड करना चाहता हूँ मैडम के, और पहले वाइस चांसलर सर के इस पे. सिलेबस तो है, बहुत सारे हेवी सिलेबस है, टेक्निकल सिलेबस है, कम सिलेबस है, लेकिन सिलेबस को लेके हमें पेडागोजी डिज़ाइन करके डिलीवरी मैकेनिज़्म हमें टीचर को बनाना पड़ेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि एक प्रोग्राम एक ही यूनिवर्सिटी में एक प्रोफेसर बहुत फेमस होता है, बाकी नहीं होते हैं. तो द वे इन व्हाट वे दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डिलीवर द करिकुलम by adapting the empathy, sympathy, intelligence, emotion, I think that will work. And any type of syllabus that you can have, you can convert the syllabus into that particular type of composition. That is what the Indian knowledge tradition system. Thank you.
Yeah, Professor Magre. Professor Magre, then Professor, yeah. And then she, I think, raised a hand, and then you can speak. Okay. हमने नहीं दबाया.
Namaskar. Honorable Chairman, sir, I have seen your slides very carefully. And somewhere you are referring to the things which are really irreplaceable. Inadvertently or otherwise, the word could have been used irreplaceable. I found out the meanings as to what it leads to. I have had a little discussion with him. But then, there is no such word. But then there is one word very important, that is placable. Placable means easy to be convinced. And when he is not getting easily convinced, it is implacable. This August gathering, we are all learned people, leading the universities, practicing the education. Throughout since morning till this late evening, we have been discussing, reflecting upon. To me it occurs whether it is convincing those who are convinced. We are all learned people leading the universities, but still we have got wholly of questions to be asked to the resource person. And as you have said that you have got a panel of experts, whatever way you would be asking the questions, but be aware, we have also got a certain style to answer these questions. So here, the three things that we have been discussing, the one is the education, second one is the career, and third one is work. Whether our system and Madam Secretary General, at one particular occasion, when she was discussing the point with one who is practicing an industry, I do not know, but then she made a stand as far as this education of the day is concerned. The army of, it is stigmatized, whether it is true or false, but we are creating an unemployed people. And she was trying to seek the answer from one who is industrialist. And to a greater extent, I suppose, the kind of an answer that gave, it at least satisfied me. We as an educationists, whether we have failed trying to establish a relationship between education, career, and the work. Now this session has added another dimension. And this is the only session where I have seen so many anecdotes were given, right from mythology to. This endeavor was nothing but convincing us. This can be an answer. And the added dimension is talking about inner self. So therefore, whether system as such, we as educationists fail to create a relationship and articulation between these three words: education, career, and work, and the another added dimension is the inner self. What is so great about these three words that we have not so far understand in a proper sense. The question is, why we face such problems with the kind of a system that we are dealing with, practicing it, and ultimately getting the results where every one of us is suspicious, going by that way, whether we are really reaching to our destiny. So what are your takes on the kind of a system that we are going to create, or we are the products of it?
So would like to answer in one line, because of paucity of time, otherwise one can speak. The answer is, wherever there is a darkness, you cannot remove darkness. You just light a lamp. And everyone, whatever understanding we have, we should light a lamp. And that lamp will remove the darkness. And I'm sure each one of us know how to light a lamp. And that is only a solution. And everybody is having a different perspective. And the words are born every day. So this was a new word which we have given birth to. That I would like to say. So one more line he will add. Yeah.
You were just talking about the role of educational institutions, that education and career, relationship between that one. Yeah, but just I'd like to point it out that that landscape is also now changing. If you think about 7-8 years earlier, and as pointed out earlier also, that job seekers and job creators. Earlier, I mean, majority of the students, they used to go for the government jobs. But now the things are changing. Why things are changing? But because an entrepreneurial ecosystem is being created in the most of the universities. I'm giving you just example. In 2014, there were only 350 startups. 2014. And now, in 2023, there are more than 99,000 startups in our country. And it has also opened job opportunities. And it has created many entrepreneurs. So now that landscape is changing. One is not going only for the government job. So that also educational institutions are doing. Creating that opportunity for the students. For example, I'm just giving example of government of Gujarat, that startups. In our university also many students have got it. It's just scholars have got funding for startups and they are creating their own startups.
My worry is whether it is a byproduct of the system or it is a product of the system.
मैं बोलूँ?
हाँ बोलिए.
एक लाइन में भी मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हम सब वाइस चांसलर और एजुकेशनिस्ट है, ये बहुत बड़ी भूल कर रहे हैं कि शिक्षण और शिक्षा खाली नौकरी देने के लिए और बिल्डिंग बांधने के लिए और इसके लिए होते हैं. शिक्षण से या शिक्षा से हम एक अच्छा आदमी, एक ह्यूमन बीइंग क्रिएट करने का हमारा मोर नेम है, वो बेसिक ऑब्जेक्ट है. अगर ये हमने राइट फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग से बताया तो ये प्रॉब्लम मुझे लगता है कि क्रिएट ही नहीं होने वाले है. तो शिक्षा से शिक्षा बने.
So let us move further because and his question is also important. But let us accept we have failed and let us create a new system, isn't it?
Generalization. When one says we have failed.
Yeah, so let us do introspection. Nothing wrong in accepting whatever wrong we have done.
Thank you. I will take 2 minutes.
So you are asking question to them. Good.
I'll take 2 minutes. आपकी लास्ट लाइन से मैं बिल्कुल एग्री हूँ कि समस्याएं बहुत हैं. जिन यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को हम लीड कर रहे हैं, फैकल्टी से स्टूडेंट तक सबसे बड़ी यही चीज़ लैग कर रही है जो आप चर्चा करें। शास्त्रों में भी है, सब ने बहुत बहुत अच्छी बात बताई। साहब ने उठाया लास्ट में, मैथ्रेश्वर गुप्त जी ने कहा था, शिक्षित तुम्हारा नाश हो, तुम नौकरी के हित बनी। आज नहीं, कितने साल पह के गए। इसका मतलब समस्या तब से खराब है कि शिक्षित तुम्हारा नाश हो, तुम नौकरी के हित बनी। और जो शास्त्रों में भी कहा गया कि दो तरह के क्रोध और गुणता को इसी आधार पर परिभाषित किया गया, विद्या विवादाय धर्म मदाय शक्ति परेशान परिपीडनाय खलस्य साधो विपरीत मेदम ज्ञानाय दानाय चारक्षणाय। इसका मतलब है कि पढ़ा लिखा आदमी दुष्ट नहीं होगा। ये कहीं नहीं लिखा गया, शास्त्रों ने बहुत के लिए लिखा था। पढ़ा लिखा आदमी बड़ा दुष्ट हो सकता है, धन वाला भी बड़ा दुष्ट हो सकता है, ये एक लिखा गया। अब समस्या मैं कंक्लूड करने की ये कह रहा हूँ कि जब हम समझ रहे हैं कि ये समस्या है, तो क्या इस इतने बड़े प्लेटफार्म से ऐसा कुछ नहीं, हम कहते हैं एक कोर्स शुरू कर दिया, उसका पढ़ाने वाला कोई नहीं है, कोई इकोसिस्टम होना चाहिए ना। तो फैकल्टी क्यों ना ऐसी क्रिएट की जाए, चाहे जूनियर से लेकर के यूजी तक पीएचडी तक कोई भी कोर्स पढ़ाया जा रहा है, एक सर्टेन उसका टाइम इस तरीके के फैकल्टी के साथ बीतना चाहिए जहां पर 2 क्रेडिट के कोर्स से शायद काम नहीं चलेगा। फैकल्टी ही क्रिएट, जब हमारा समाज ही विकृत होता जा रहा है। हम एज ए वाइस चांसलर 1.5 साल से किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में जहाँ पे हैं, वहाँ पर मेरा 50% टाइम केवल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट निकालने में, केवल उनके झगड़े और ये सुलझाने में कि ऐसा मत करो, और उसके सब काम किया मैंने, सब काम किया। मैं 85 लोगों को विदेश भेजा, कम से कम 400 लोगों को आईआईटी और यहाँ वहाँ भेजा 1 साल के अंदर कि आप वहाँ जाओ, वो भी माहौल देखो, थोड़ा इस कूप मंडूप से बाहर निकलो। लेकिन लौट के आने के बाद
वो आपकी गलती हो गई, क्योंकि वो उनको कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बारे में थोड़ा ज्ञान था, बाहर जाके और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सीख के आ गए।
नहीं कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं, ये बात इस पे नहीं हो रही। बात ये हो रही है कि दिन प्रतिदिन साल दर साल उनको कैसे ये माहौल दिया जाए, और फैकल्टी को भी। तो एक स्ट्रांग अगर रिकमेंडेशन जाती है कि एक फैकल्टी, जैसे मैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ गोटेंगन में था, वहाँ पर बताया गया कि 286 साल पहले थियोलॉजी ही कंट्रोल करती थी, क्या पढ़ोगे क्या पढ़ाओगे, थियोलॉजी कंट्रोल करती थी, और सबसे ऊपर थियोलॉजी थी। मैं उस भावना को नहीं कह रहा हूं, लेकिन कम से कम पैरेलल में एक ऐसी फैकल्टी होनी चाहिए जहां मुझे भी एज ए वाइस चांसलर सुनना है, और आप जैसे लोगों को बुला करके, दुबे जी को, इनको बुला के सुनवाना है, तो वहां मैं भी जाके बैठूं और कुछ ये सुनूं और सुन करके आऊं और दिमाग को पवित्र करके आऊं। तो ऐसा कुछ स्ट्रांग रिकमेंडेशन जानी चाहिए, और बिना मैडम वो फैकल्टी के और फैसिलिटी के नहीं हो सकता। तो ये हम सब जान रहे हैं कि हर जगह ये समस्या है, तो क्यों ना यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में ये चीज़ कराई जाए कि भाई आप गवर्नमेंट को, प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब को लिखा जाए कि इतना एक फैकल्टी आप इस पर क्रिएट ही करिए। इरेस्पेक्टिव एग्रीकल्चर का है, इंजीनियरिंग का है, किसी का है, वो फैकल्टी है, उसमें टीचर भी की हम ट्रेनिंग करा सकें उनको कुछ दिन के लिए। ट्रेनिंग में उसे हम समय बिताना कहेंगे, वहाँ इंटरेक्शन, ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए। थैंक यू।
तो मैडम जी, इनसे एक रिजोल्यूशन लिखा के ले लो तो अपने इसमें हो जाएगा, तो आप एक रिजोल्यूशन बना के दे दीजिए।
First of all, I want to compliment this session. Everybody spoke very well. The topic was very sensitive, and everybody of you dealt in depth very nicely.
We desperately were waiting for this comment.
And my question was is to Amy, madam. Madam, I want to know the timetable when you prefer to show those pictures to students. When? Which hours?
We have first Saturday of every month.
Timing? Afternoon?
It's 3, yes, after 2:33.
First Saturday?
Yes, yes. Sir, अभी हमारे कैंपस में
Thank you.
7,000 स्टूडेंट्स अभी कैंपस में है, और टोटल हमारे स्टूडेंट 3 लाख प्लस है। और मैं ये मूवी जो मैं कर रही हूँ, मैं 98 से 2012 तक भी किया है मैंने। सो जनरली विमला ठकार जी कहते हैं जो जिया है वो ही कहा है।
Sir, can I? I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm using that simile. When there is a pollution in the plant, we don't look at a solution at the end of the pipe. We don't look at a solution in the last step also. We have to look at starting material to starting steps. We are all talking about steps that we can do if we have to make the student learning to learn, if you have to make student emotionally more intelligent, if you have to have the student who values the soft skills. It is not 17-year-olds that we have to look at. This has to start way before when they go at 5 or 6 years in the schools. Today we get half-baked product or whatever ready product in our hand, and we are talking about what we can do. Sir, सर्वे संतु निरामया अगर करना है, सुख दुखे समय कृत्वा लाभा लाभो, सब हो सकता है, लेकिन आज हम पिछले सदी से देख के अगर आएंगे तो पाश्चात्य वे ऑफ थिंकिंग से, मटेरियलिस्टिक थिंकिंग से, मैक्सिमाइजेशन ऑफ रिटर्न्स, मैक्सिमाइजेशन ऑफ प्रॉफिट, यही पढ़ाया अगर जाता है, तो आज की तारीख में आज अगर अचानक उन्हें बताओ 17 साल के उम्र में कि नहीं कुछ ये दूसरा करना है, तो मुश्किल ही जाएगा. तो क्या किया जा रहा है कि स्कूल के लेवल से ये हो जाए?
तो थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर क्वेश्चन एंड आई एम श्योर कि आप जो कह रहे हैं वो काफ़ी लोगों का ये कहना होगा. लेकिन ऐसा है कि अपने हाथ में जब आएगा तभी हम कर सकेंगे ना. अपने हाथ में जो आया है उसी को बदलाव करने के लिए सोचेंगे, उसी में परिवर्तन लाने के लिए सोचेंगे, है ना. अगर हमें ऐसा लगता है कि वो बिगड़ा हुआ है तो हम चलो उसको पहले नहलाते हैं, नहलाने के बाद में उस पर संस्कार करते हैं, थोड़ा समय जाएगा, है ना. लेकिन हम ये नहीं कह सकते हैं कि वो जब तक नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम नहीं कर सकते हैं. और हम हजारों साल पहले अगर जाएंगे तो गर्भ में जो बच्चा है उसको भी पढ़ाया गया है और इसीलिए उसने अपने पिता से प्रश्न पूछ लिया है, चाहे वो अष्टावक्र रहे या चाहे बाकी सारे रहे. तो संस्कार तो पहले दिन से शुरू होते हैं, है ना. तो ये संस्कार यानी अगर मैं ऐसा बोलूँ कि ये मिली जुली सरकार है. पहले तो पेरेंट्स को संभालना है, फिर वो जब वातावरण में आता है बाहर उसको वैसे वातावरण देना है, फिर स्कूल में जाता है, स्कूल में फिर कॉलेज में आता है, विश्वविद्यालय में आता है और फिर मार्केट में जाता है ना. तो हमको एक एनवायरनमेंट हर लेवल पे बनाना पड़ेगा. लेकिन पहले नहीं हुआ है इसीलिए हमारी जिम्मेदारी कम है ऐसा नहीं कह सकते. हमारे पास आएगा. एक मैंने वीडियो देखा था, आप सबने देखा होगा, कि वो एक गिलास में कचरा भरा पानी, काला काला पानी है ना, और वो उसमें बोलता है कि कचरे वाला पानी आप साफ नहीं कर सकते. अगर आपको साफ करना है तो उसमें पानी डालते रहिए. द मोमेंट यू पोर वाटर कंटिन्यूसली, वो जो कचरा वाला पानी है थोड़ा थोड़ा कम कम होते जाएगा. वो हम कर सकते हैं. उतना ही करें तो भी बहुत परिवर्तन होगा. और खाली पूरी दुनिया में आनो भद्रा क्रतवो यंतु विश्वता, है ना. तो हमें ग्लोबल सिटीज़न बनना है और हमको सारे धर्मों से सीखना है. कोई भी ऐसा एक धर्म नहीं है कि जिसने सारी चीज़ें बताई है. सारे धर्म में अच्छी चीज़ें हैं, उसे हमें पकड़ना है. और मैं समझता हूँ कि आप सब लोग बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, तभी तो टिका हुआ है ना, नहीं तो हमारी सिस्टम खराब हो जाती थी. आप और हम लोगों ने कुछ ह्यूमन वैल्यूज़ किए. अभी हमारा चैलेंज अलग है, टेक्नोलॉजी का चैलेंज है. तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी के स्पीड को, वो स्पीड से एक्सीडेंट ना होना चाहिए, इसके लिए ह्यूमन सेंटर्ड स्किल्स किस तरह से ला सकते हैं, यही हमें इंटरवेंशन. सो वी नीड टू हैव ए इंटरवेंशन स्ट्रैटेजी. दिस टॉपिक कैनॉट बी डिस्कस इन 1 hour. दिस इज जस्ट द ग्लिम्पसेस एंड ईच वन ऑफ यू शुड कम आउट. मैं तो शर्मा जी से आग्रह धरूंगा कि आप सारे लोगों से केस स्टडीज़ मंगाइए इस विषय पे. उन्होंने क्या किया है, उन्होंने, वो दूसरों ने क्या किया उसके बारे में नहीं, मैंने क्या किया है इसकी एक केस स्टडी सारे विश्वविद्यालय से मंगवा के आप एक वॉल्यूम निकाल लीजिए, ताकि सारे लोगों को इसके बारे में केस स्टडी पता चलेगी. बाकी तो हम लिखते रहते फिलोसॉफी वो AIU के मैगजीन में, लेकिन उससे अच्छा केस स्टडी अगर आएंगी तो लोग सीखेंगे. जैसे पिल्लई साहब नैक में थे तो उन्होंने बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस का ये बाहर लाया था, उससे बहुत लोगों को फायदा हुआ. फोटोकॉपी जैसा करने लगे फिर वो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस. वैसे ही अभी ये ह्यूमन सेंटर्ड स्किल्स का फोटोकॉपीजाइजेशन, वो मगरे सर बताएंगे इसका शब्द क्या है. तो आप जरूर निकाल लीजिए. और मैं यहीं रुकता हूँ. आप तो प्रश्न बाद में भी पूछ सकते हैं, आप उत्तर देना चाहते हैं तो दीजिए प्लीज़. Please, please.
अच्छा, नहीं, मतलब ये सुबह से सत्र चल रहा है, पर मुझे लगता है सबसे जो है एक बड़ा प्रश्न उत्तर का सत्र बहुत अच्छा गया है, और आपकी जो वीडियोस रही वो बहुत बड़े मैसेज को कन्वे करती हैं, और बट वहाँ प्रश्न उठता है, क्योंकि मैं एक मनोवैज्ञानिक डॉक्टर भी हूँ और इमसुरा, तो ये इमोशनल जो इंटेलिजेंस है उसको हॉर्डर गार्डनर ने बेसिकली ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस को डिफाइन किया है कि आदमी में एक नहीं 9 तरह के ऐसे गुण होते हैं, उनमें से इंटेलिजेंस एक क्वोशेंट है और वो सिखाया नहीं जा सकता है, व्यक्ति एक्वायर करता है उसे। जैसा मैडम ने बहुत अच्छा कहा कि इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट करके कर सकते हैं, ये टीचिंग लर्निंग और जो उनका इथिक्स की ट्रेनिंग दी जाए, पढ़ाया जाए। इथिक्स वो जो कहा अपने संस्कारों से हमारे जो बेसिकली पंचकोशीय ज्ञान है उन तमाम चीज़ों से, क्योंकि ये तो अंतिम सत्र का वो है, हमें पंचकोशों का ज्ञान कैसे हो और कैसे बच्चे के जन्म लेने के प्रारंभ से ही किस प्रकार से संस्कार जाते हैं, तो वो एक बड़ा मुझे लगता है कि वो उस लेवल पर कहीं शिक्षा जब तक इंटेलिजेंस वैल्यू आएगी उनमें, मतलब ये कि वो लिंग्विस्टिक जो इंटेलिजेंस है उनमें आगे 5वें उस पर आता है। आप मेजर कर सकते हैं, हर आदमी इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस से युक्त नहीं हो सकता है, अगर वहाँ होगा तो उसका मैथमेटिकल क्वेश्चन डाउन हो जाएगा। तो वो सारे वो 9 उसमें वो किए, इसमें लिंग्विस्टिक है, मैथमेटिकल है, म्यूजिकल है, किनेस्थेटिक है, स्पाइटल है, इंट्रापर्सनल है एंड इंटरपर्सनल, 2 पे आकर के वहाँ पे उठान करते हैं। इंट्रापर्सनल खुद के साथ खुद संवाद, जब तक हमारी संवेदना खुद को समझ में नहीं आएगी तब तक आप दूसरे की संवेदना नहीं समझ। समान वेदना शब्द बहुत स्पष्ट है, जैसी वेदना हो रही ऐसी ही वेदना हो, संवेदना होनी चाहिए। तो उसमें का इंट्रापर्सनल और इंटरपर्सनल, तो इंटरपर्सनल हुए बिना इंट्रापर्सनल नहीं हो सकता है। तो जब तक खुद से प्यार नहीं होगा तब तक दूसरों से प्यार नहीं हो सकता। तो खुद से प्यार होने की सीखनी चीज़ है। तो जो हेड, हार्ट एंड हैंड के लेवल पर उतरने पे ही चीज़ें क्रियान्वित होंगी। तो ये प्रैक्टिस बहुत ज़रूरी है। ज्ञान तो हो सकता है बट हार्ट में उतर रहा है क्या, हार्ट में उतर रहा है तो हैंड में आ रहा है क्या, प्रैक्टिस में आ रहा है। तो इसीलिए कहा योग में कहा कि समत्तम योग इच्छते, समत्व के पेज पे आए और जीवन का उद्देश्य सिर्फ यही है, तदा दृष्टु स्वरूप अवस्थानम, अपने स्वरूप में पहुंचे, यही जीवन का उद्देश्य है। अगर वहां नहीं पहुंचा पा रहे हैं तो शिक्षा जो है वो निरुद्देश्य है, उसी पर पहुंचना चीज़ है। और उसमें बहुत स्पष्ट वो कहते हैं, मैं 2 सूत्रों में स्पष्ट इसे करना चाहूँगा कि वो कहते हैं कि पंचवृष्टि क्लिष्टा से क्लिष्ट, वो कहते हैं इसलिए नहीं हो पा रहा है, हमारी वृत्तियाँ क्लिष्ट अक्लिष्ट हैं, इसलिए हम नहीं हो पा रहे हैं। और उसमें एक बड़ी चीज़ है, वो कहते हैं कि मन की अवस्था हमारी है। 3 ही सूत्र में पूरे जो है योग सूत्र में डिफाइन कर देते हैं कि इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस वहाँ से आती चीज़ें हैं। और वो वहाँ पर ये कहते हैं कि क्षिप्त विक्षिप्त मूढ़ एकाग्र निरुद्ध, ये पंच की अगर मन की अवस्थाओं को नहीं समझेंगे तब तक ज्ञान को नहीं हम संपादित कर सकते हैं। वो कहते हैं क्षिप्त मन नहीं ज्ञान ले सकता, विक्षिप्त मन नहीं ले सकता है, क्षिप्त विक्षिप्त मूढ़ मन को ज्ञान नहीं दे सकते आप। कोई बैठा हुआ उसको ओपन नहीं है, क्षिप्त विक्षिप्त मूढ़ एकाग्र मन को ही ज्ञान हो सकता है। इसीलिए हर धर्मों हर जगह पूजा की बात की गई कि आप एकाग्र हो, पूरी तरह जाएं। पूजा किसी विषय पर पूजा की तरह, कर्म को पूजा पे लें, जो भी करें तो पूजा के द्वारा ही ज्ञान हो, मतलब एकाग्रता के द्वारा ही, और निरुद्ध तभी होगा। तो वो बहुत स्पष्ट दोष में करते हैं। तो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस जो है वो इकोसिस्टम का है। उस सर ने बहुत अच्छा कहा, भी बताया कैसे सिस्टम फेल हो जाए तो पता चला कि थोड़ा सा हो जाए तो आपका फेस रिकग्नाइज नहीं करेगा, आपका अटेंडेंस नहीं लेगा, आपको फेल कर देगा। एक्सीडेंट हो गया तो पता चला आपका सिस्टम नहीं पहचान रहा है, किसी का हाथ कट गया तो पता चला उसकी। तो हमें नए सिस्टम में नए तरीके से लेकर चलना पड़ेगा। बट बहुत ही अच्छा सत्र रहा। और जिस प्रकार से जो है 200 रुपये दे करके 100 रुपये दे के 200 रुपये लेने वाली बात भी है, वो भी बहुत मतलब उम्दा लगी जो है।
तो भी ऐसा ही करते हैं ट्रेन में जाने। सो योगस्य
चित्तवृत्ति निरोध है,
वो मुझे समझ गया कि आ गया। थैंक यू वेरी मच। लेकिन आपने जो पूरा बता दिया है उसमें प्रश्न एक ही है, वो ये है कि डैनियल गोलमैन ने बुक लिखने के पहले हमारे देश में टीवी पे एक ऐड आती थी, मेलेडी खाओ और खुद जान जाओ। सो हमको सबको मेलेडी खानी पड़ेगी तभी हम जान सकेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग अस द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू सिट ऑन दिस साइड, एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर enlightening us by asking questions. So we learned so much from your questions. And thank you all my panelists. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time.
It's our honor to thank each of our speakers and session chair for the enlightening session. Thank you so much. May I now request Secretary General Association of Indian Universities, Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal, to present the memento to our dignitaries. Ma'am, please. I request ma'am to do the honors to Professor Rajan sir. Thank you, ma'am. It's our privilege to place our sincere gratitude to the audience for your patience and support. We have arranged snacks and tea at the entrance. There is an announcement. We also have campus tour planned. Professor Satyendra Upadhyay, Director, International Relations, Somaiya Vidyavihar University, would guide you and escort you for the campus tour, followed by there's a cultural program arranged for you in the same venue in this auditorium at 7 p.m. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Tapas. I head Divinity, India's premium gifting company. Today, I'd like to talk about a product called Certificate on Board. Every year, millions of students, they pass out from different universities all over the world. And when they convocate, what do they receive? They receive a degree like this, made with paper. As after the convocation, what do? They put it in a file like this and place it in a drawer. They forget the hard works they have put in year after year to get these degrees and diplomas. What we propose here today is a product that we call Certificate on Gold. This is a certificate, a replica of the certificate made with pure gold, beautiful frame, which they can proudly hang on their wall. Want one?